A fancy grocery store near me wanted $15 for one small fistful of lion's mane mushroom. $15 for something that will grow itself on a bag of sawdust on your kitchen counter while you sleep for about the price of a sandwich. It looks like a frozen white waterfall. It tastes like crap. So can you really grow it on your counter with zero experience and no green thumb? Yes. Going from a sealed bag to a mushroom the size of a softball takes about 2 weeks, and the block does almost all the work for you. Here's exactly how it goes. And here's the moment it really got me. I was standing in that store holding the overpriced little clamshell, doing the math, when it clicked that people grow this stuff at home like a houseplant, a shaggy white houseplant you eventually get to eat. Once you see how little it asks of you, there's no going back. Let me paint what this thing even is, because it does not look like a normal mushroom at all. It has no cap and no stem, nothing like the toadstool shape you're picturing. Lion's mane is what scientists call a tooth fungus. Instead of gills tucked under a cap, it grows hundreds of soft, white spines that hang straight down like icicles, or like the fur on a sheepdog that's overdue for a trim. In the wild, it grows on dead and dying hardwood trees, beech and oak and maple, usually hidden in the shade of the forest. On your counter, it'll look like a snowball slowly sprouting a beard. Cut into it, and the inside looks a bit like cauliflower, branching from one base. And when you cook it, it pulls apart into stringy chunks that taste close to crab or lobster. That part surprises everyone. Now, here's where a lot of beginners take a wrong turn before they even start. They hear the words grow mushrooms and picture buying spores in a little vial and starting from scratch. Don't. Starting from spores means weeks of sterile lab-type work, where one stray speck of mold can ruin the whole batch. It's a great rabbit hole to fall down later, but a miserable first attempt. What you want instead is a ready-to-fruit block, sometimes sold as a grow kit. It's a bag packed with sawdust that's already been colonized, which just means the mushroom's root network has spread all the way through it and is sitting there ready to go. Somebody else did the risky part in a clean room. You get handed the fun part. The supply list is almost embarrassingly short. One ready-to-fruit lion's mane block, a clean knife, a spray bottle, and a spot near a window. A clear plastic bag or a cheap tub helps if your home runs dry, but plenty of people skip even that. So you've got your block. First thing, look at it. A healthy block is firm and laced with white, like someone marbled the sawdust with cobwebs. That white is the mycelium, and it's exactly what you want to see. If you spot patches of green, black, or anything fuzzy and blue-tinted, or if it smells sour instead of faintly woody and sweet, that block has a problem, and it isn't worth chasing. Assuming it looks healthy, you're going to give the mushroom a door to come out of. Take a clean knife and cut a small slit in the side of the bag, about 2 inches across, in the shape of an X or a V. Cornell's mushroom program suggests cutting on the side rather than the top, since lion's mane likes to push out sideways and crowds itself less that way. One opening is plenty for your first grow. Resist the urge to slice the bag open like a bag of chips. More holes does not mean more mushrooms. Now, location. And this is the part people overthink. Lion's mane wants 3 easy things: indirect light, fresh air, and damp air. So skip the dark cabinet, because here's something most beginners get backwards. Lion's mane is not a basement creature. It needs light to fruit properly, just not direct sun. A spot near a window that never catches harsh afternoon glare is perfect. If your mushroom comes out pale and stretched, it's basically telling on you, asking for a little more light. Temperature-wise, aim for somewhere around 60 to 72 degrees. Here's the good news. That's just normal room temperature for most kitchens, so you've probably already got it handled. Then comes the one thing that quietly decides whether any of this works: humidity. Lion's mane wants the air around it to feel like a rainforest, somewhere up around 85 to 95%. In a dry kitchen, the surface of that block dries out before a mushroom can even form. The fix costs about $1, a clean spray bottle. Mist around the opening 2 to 3 times a day. Light passes, never a soaking. You're misting the air and the cut surface, not power washing the mushroom. If your place is bone dry, loosely tent a clear plastic bag over the block with a few holes poked in it to hold the moisture in. Here's a detail almost nobody mentions though. air matters just as much as water. Lion's mane breathes, and if it's smothered with no fresh air, it stops forming those clean, hanging spines and instead grows into a weird, branchy, coral-looking blob. That coral shape is the mushroom gasping for air. So if you're using a tent, lift it off for a minute a couple times a day. Let it breathe, then cover it back up. And then you wait. For the first several days, it feels like nothing is happening. Around day 5 to 10, you'll spot tiny white bumps forming right at the cut. Those are pins, baby mushrooms. From there, it moves shockingly fast. The thing can nearly double overnight. The bumps swell into a tight white ball, and then the surface starts breaking apart into those soft hanging teeth. Watching it go from a bump to a beard over a few days is one of the most satisfying things you'll grow in your kitchen. Now, let me save you from the classic mistakes, because they all show up looking like a sad mushroom. If the block dries out and growth just stalls, you misted too little. If the mushroom turns yellow and a little slimy, that's usually the opposite problem: too much water sitting on it from spraying it head-on. Yellowing is a clue, not a funeral, and it can point to 3 different things. Either it's getting too much moisture, or it's drying out, or it's simply getting old and slipping past its prime. You learn to read which one it is by feel. One firm rule on safety: a good lion's mane smells faintly sweet and woodsy. If it ever smells sour, fishy, or flat out rotten, or feels slimy and mushy instead of springy, do not eat it. Trust your nose over your hope every time. And if fuzzy green mold shows up on the block, that's a common contaminant called trichoderma. And once it gets a foothold, the block isn't worth saving. Toss it, wash your hands, and start fresh. Okay, the payoff. How do you know the exact moment to grab it? This is the detail that separates a great harvest from a mediocre one, and the window is shorter than you'd guess. You want to harvest while it's still bright white, and the spines have formed but are still short and firm. The second it starts yellowing, browning, or the teeth get long and shaggy, the texture turns from tender to tough and a little bitter. So when it looks full and white, that's your cue. Don't wait for the weekend. Harvesting is almost too easy. Grab it at the base, give it a gentle twist, and pull. It comes off the block in one clean piece. You won't even need a knife for this part. To store it, slip it into a paper bag in the fridge and use it within about a week. Plastic traps moisture and turns it slimy fast, so paper is your friend here. And cooking it is where you finally get why people lose their minds over this thing. Tear it into chunks, get a dry pan hot, and lay them in with no oil at first. They'll release a surprising amount of water. Once that steams off, add butter and let them go golden. That's when they hit that meaty crab cake texture. People who swear they hate mushrooms tend to go quiet halfway through the plate. And here's the kicker that makes the whole thing feel like a cheat code. That block isn't finished after one harvest. Keep misting it, and in a couple of weeks, it'll often push out a second flush, sometimes even a third. Each one comes in a little smaller than the last. If it stalls, you can soak the block in cool water for 5 to 10 minutes to recharge it, but no longer, because lion's mane blocks fall apart if they sit too long. A first flush off a home block might give you a few generous handfuls, sometimes pushing a pound if your conditions are dialed in, though it varies a lot from block to block. So don't chase a giant number on the scale. Chase a healthy white mushroom, and the weight takes care of itself. One small cautious note, since somebody always asks: lion's mane has a long history as a food in East Asia, and it's being studied for cognitive interest, but I'm not here to make health promises, and neither should anyone selling it to you. Grow it because it's delicious and fun to watch. So, picture this. 2 weeks from now, you wander into your kitchen half awake, and there's a soft white creature the size of a softball cascading off a bag by your sink, something you grew from basically nothing, with a spray bottle and a little window light. That's the moment that hooks people for good, and it's a lot closer than you think. If this video is informative, then comment yes. That motivates us to produce more videos like this.